Well, here I am. Why I would interview the Baroness is beyond me. She cannot stand me. I mean, at her debut at Blood, Sweat, Tears, man, she gave me such a tongue lashing. I haven't even recouped from it. Whoa. Well, I don't know. She said this is the place. Whoa, look at all the woods out there. I hope she ain't gotten any funny ideas over there, but, well, I don't know. I'm gonna see what happens here. Let's give it a knock. Miss Baroness, it's Don Kincaid from the Kincaid Files.
What do you want?
I wanted to enter.
Why is your brony shirt? Why not a Jake Diablo or Baroness shirt?
But I can't.
How rude. She agrees. Esto es Stirring the Pot with Don Kincaid.
This is Stirring the Pot with Don Kincaid.
Well, this is Stirring the Pot with Don Kincaid and my very special guest. And I've been waiting for this one. This one's got my interest. Aubrey St. John. It's a pleasure having you. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
Might I ask, where are we? Are we in a disclosed location?
This is actually like a second home to me. So whenever I need some space, I need some me time, I come here. I stay with my friend, and it's a very, very, very nice. As you can see, we have like woods behind us.
It's beautiful here, though.
Peaceful.
Yeah. It is. It's gorgeous. I love this setting. This is fantastic.
Thank you.
I appreciate you having me here because, you know, it's hard with Stirring the Pot because every place is, you know, every interview is different. Every interview is at a different setting. So correct. I do appreciate this setting is it's starting to rain. There has been a little bit of thunder. There is, yeah. But we're okay, I think, right here, right? Okay. We're enclosed.
Yeah. We're in the patio, but we're good.
This is beautiful. I am going to scoot this right, there we go, a little bit closer. Thank you for the water. I appreciate the water.
You're welcome.
It is a little humid out here.
It is. I feel like my hair's going to be an afro.
I don't know. You're having a good hair day. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. So, I'm just going to jump right in here. I've seen Aubrey, I think my first time was seeing Aubrey as a referee, if I'm not mistaken. Okay?
That's probably your first time, yeah.
That was probably my first time, and if I'm not mistaken, it was at a Tesha Strength training day event. So let's just start right there if we could, because I have like a million questions, probably. Okay. We might get through only 500,000 in this episode, and there might be an Aubrey St. John 2 later on down the road. You never know.
No, right?
Yeah, right. TOS, that seems to be your home when it comes to wrestling, is it not?
Yes, that's correct. TOS is actually the second school that I've gone to, and they actually opened their arms up to me, okay, and allowed me to train with them, and it's been my home, you know. So for the past, I want to say like 3 years. This summer it'll be 3 years.
Okay.
Of training, and I couldn't ask for a better experience, a better trainer, better peers. You know, I just couldn't.
I've heard that a lot about Slick and Alex. They're great mentors, teachers, if you will, trainers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the students, or the wrestlers, I shouldn't say, they are students, but you guys are all wrestlers, man. You put on a show, you know, so I can't just use the word students, even though you technically are, but you guys put on a show.
I mean, I think even the veteran wrestlers are still students, because you still learn something every day. You know, you're still learning. This is an industry that you're always going to learn something. So in a way, yeah, we are all going to still be students 10, 20, 30 years from today, you know?
So that's what they mean basically by student of the
Yeah.
game, if you will?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You, like I said, we have some fun as fans.
Yeah.
You guys seem like you have a ton of fun in the ring.
We do. You haven't seen, so far I've only had one match.
I was there for that.
Yes.
Yeah. We can get it. We'll get into that, definitely.
We'll get into that
Yeah.
later.
We'll definitely get into that.
Yeah, like during training, we do have, you know, we do practice matchups and stuff, so I have had several. And, you know, everyone is different than the last match, you know. I first started training at In Your Face Wrestling, which was in Albany, New York.
In Your Face Wrestling?
It's now defunct. It's
I was going to say, how did I not hear of that?
So shout out to Drake Evans, who was my first trainer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We know some Drake Evans. Yeah, we love Drake Evans.
We love Drake.
Yes.
Yeah. I learned about the In Your Face through a friend, and I ended up commuting. I used to commute. Now I don't have any car or anything, so it would be like a 6 to 7 hour commute to Albany, New York, to train for wrestling.
What?
And yeah, and I used to do that.
Wow.
But then the school closed, and I hit up Slick because I've known Slick for many years, like in passing, and I've seen his shows when I was younger.
Okay.
So I hit him up because I've heard about the Test of Strength, which was fairly new,
Right.
and that was when it was in Watertown.
I wasn't there. I've seen footage though via Fogman. You know, he's got all of that stuff. But.
Yeah, it was definitely different from East Hartford. It's definitely there's things about it that I miss, and there's things that I don't miss about that particular venue. But hey, we're moving on up, and we can't really look back.
The venue now. Yeah, I mentioned this to Mr. Rojas. You pull onto Church Ave, if I'm not mistaken. It's called Church Ave or Church Street?
Church Street.
Church Street.
Yeah.
And it's 87 Church Street.
Church Street.
And you pull down the road. There's a church on your right. You go down the road a little bit, and then it gets this weird little, I don't know, corner, and there's this. It seems to be an abandoned building, kind of. It doesn't look run down or nothing.
It's like an industrial building. I mean, there's a lot of different things in that building. I mean, there's a vet place. You can take if your pet feels sick or wants a checkup. There's a studio, so if you are a recording artist, you can record music. There's a barbershop right next to our class. Wow. Yeah, so it's like there's a therapist on the first floor. I mean, there is all types of businesses in that one building.
That's pretty crazy because once you get there, I looked at my GPS and I looked at my dad because he came with me the first time and I go, it says we're here. He goes, no. I go, yeah, let me read GPS it. Bam, you are here. It said again, and I was like, all right. So TOS, the venue now, it's crazy in there, man. You go up there for a training day and the hallways are filled. Everybody's getting ready. Everybody's getting dressed. Everybody's going over their matches. But it's a long hallway this way. Then it's another long hallway this way. The room is over here. But if you go through that door, there's another hallway and a hallway and a hallway and a hallway. And it's scattered with everybody on training days. Those days are the excitement in that building.
I think the excitement level leading to each show is always great, but when the day of, it's like you get even more of you feel like a little kid. You know, like this is it. Like
you're awesome.
You're gonna do this, and it's pretty cool. I can't complain. For right now, I also do the catering. So TOS, that's something that separates TOS from everyone else. You know, in this industry, you gotta kind of like separate. There's so many fads and there's so many places to go, but what separates this place from other places is that we do have catering. We do have people from all over the New England area coming to do these shows, and fans from all over that want to watch. So, and not only that, but we're live on Facebook.
Yeah.
And it's pretty awesome. It's definitely it's an experience in its own.
You guys, it's almost like you're doing a pay-per-view once a month for us as fans, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
In a nice, small, very, very intimate area.
Yeah, you get like that kind of like yes, we are putting on a show, but at the same time, it's like a big family. So it's, you know, I've been to shows where I've gone as a fan to show support of some of my fellow friends, and I just feel like, you know, I feel like unwanted, or like, you know, like but when you go to test the strength, you feel like you know everyone, and even if you come alone, you know someone
Right.
sitting down or someone performing. So it's always a great experience.
I love it there. It's like I have like 3 homes away from home: Test of Strength, Battlefront, and PAPW lately. I mean, it's been, you guys give us, and girls, you guys give us so much of your energy. And I know maybe not all the time, not everybody hoots and hollers, and maybe you guys catch that, maybe you don't, because you're in the zone and doing your thing. But man, I try to do what I can. I throw my vocals out there, and I've been burned by her tongue more than once. Like, yeah! And I have so much fun.
Yeah.
So let's get to the catering part. How did that ever become where Aubrey was hooking up the fam?
Well, what happened was, for Christmas, back in December, I wanted to do something for the guys, and the guys wanted to do something, you know, like make it like Christmas for us, you know, like, because most days we are with each other, you know, whether we're training or we're doing shows or we're on the road to do another show, we're with each other, so we're each other's family. So we wanted to do something together as a family. So the one thing outside the ring that I'm great at is cooking, or everyone tells me I'm great at cooking.
Awesome.
So I got up really, really early, and I made a lot of food, and I brought it in. You know,
there had to be a lot of food, no?
Oh, it was a lot.
I
There
mean,
was a
holy
lot of people.
cow.
There was a lot of guys and girls backstage for the. You might not see each and every person, but there's a lot of people back there.
Well, we talk about it takes a village or an army to produce
Yes.
an event. You know, they're shows, but they are you know, all of these are events, man. You know,
Yeah,
so
I mean, it's a lot. A lot goes into it.
and it's not like they're my little skinny stature. You got some big boys out there that are very, very hungry.
Yes.
So what are we cooking when we cater for a TOS event?
Every show was different, because I don't want people to get like, you know, tired of the same thing.
Okay.
So I mean, I've done lasagna. I've done yellow arroz con gandule. I've done
Whoa! What is that?
rice and beans, Spanish. I'm putting
Oh,
it.
man.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've done little chicken wings or big drumsticks. I've done pernil, which is pork shoulder. I've done bread with my own version of bread with garlic on my own, like.
Wait, you're making homemade bread for the TOS guys?
I'm making everything from home.
What is going
Yeah.
on?
So, and then, you know, there's fruits and vegetables for those that don't eat, you know.
Right?
So stay healthy.
Wow.
So, like, yeah, there's a little bit of something for everyone.
That is amazing. I mean, I gotta give Aubrey huge props because, like I said, what do you think? They're a bunch of skinny guys like Kincaid? No way, man. They're big. They're slick. They're tie shine. They're big guys, and they don't eat just like a half a plate and be like, I'm
No,
good.
some of the guys eat 2 and 3 times. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. But yeah, some of the guys eat repeatedly, and that's always the greatest, because I wake up, no matter what time I go to sleep the night before. I could go to sleep at 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning. I'm up at 7 in the morning.
Really?
Cooking. Like,
Wow.
just slaving away in the kitchen. But, I mean, I love it. So, I cook, and I cook with love. So, my food comes out tasting good. And I don't know, it sounds cheesy, but that's how I was taught to cook. Like, with my grandmother, my great-grandmother, and my mother, when they sat me down, they're like, if you cook with love, your food will taste good.
Wow.
So every time I cook, I'm not just like, I gotta get up.
Yeah,
No,
whipping it together, right?
Yeah, I'm spreading a love all over.
That is awesome. Obviously, I haven't had any of Aubrey's food because, I mean, I am a little guy here.
I actually was cooking. We were supposed to do the interview in my home, but then I have a lot of people that came over, and I'm just like, I can't do it here.
Hey,
but I made empanadillas from scratch, which is Puerto Rican patties, And I made chicken parm from scratch. So
Man,
yeah.
what did I miss out on? But that's okay. They say wrestling is card is subject to change, right?
Card is always subject.
So
to change.
this is wrestling.
Yeah.
So I really dig that, you know, you were open to the idea of sitting down and doing an interview. Excuse me. I started doing the interviews because I'm a Wicked fan, obviously. And doing this whole ridiculous Kincaid thing with the phone and getting in people's faces and all of that. It's so much fun, and I've gained so many friendships over the course.
Mm-hmm.
But I see interviews that are done in our area, but not interviews that are done with our fam, the ones that we're close with in our, you know, few 4, 5, 6 companies that are in our area. And I thought that maybe I could bring that. So my point being with this long-winded sentence is I am very pleased that you were open to doing this.
I felt like it was, for me, not saying for you, but for me, I think it was like kind of long overdue, because it's been a while since I've had a sit down interview. And I was there, like, I did have, you know, I was one of the hosts for this show called Centering.
Wait, what?
Let me tell you how this came about, right?
What? Please, I don't know none of this. Fog doesn't tell me anything. I mean, anything.
So, a couple years ago, I was hit up by this guy named Christopher Anino. Yes, I said your name. I'm speaking it all. I'm
you
naming
can't.
Everything.
This is stirring the pot.
And so Christopher Nino hit me up, and he's like, "Hey, I have this show on Wallingford TV. It's called Centering, and I want you to be our female correspondent. I want you to talk about. I want to bring you in as one of the hosts, and I want you to talk about the female wrestling, female wrestling and stuff like that."
Cool.
And this is like years ago, and I was like, I didn't know what Centering was. I mean, to me, nothing. I was new.
How long ago?
Oh my God, this was like I want to say like 4, 5, 6 years ago, something like that. I can't even remember.
That's really not that far away.
To me, it seems like a
lifetime,
time
right? Yeah, I feel you.
But then eventually, I found out that it wasn't his show. I found out that it was the Fogman show, yeah. And I wasn't very well wanted in the show. So, and it wasn't even his Christopher Nino's show to begin with. So it was like, okay, then what am I doing here? But I stayed. I did the show. Anyways, I did it for like, I think over a year or something like that.
Wow.
I just felt like I wasn't, it came to a part where we were getting disrespectful calls, and I wasn't being backed up by my co-host, by any of my co-hosts, and I felt like I was very much disrespected on air a lot, and I felt like that wasn't where I needed to be, so that I could be like in a peaceful state of mind. So I was hit up by the guys from Square Circle. Hey guys.
2 drops.
Yeah, so
Man.
I went over to them, they interviewed me, and then I don't know why they wasn't getting along. Square Circle, Centering, whatever. Like, I think everyone should get along, because we're all in this for one reason.
Yeah,
and that's wrestling.
We're fans. Yeah,
and they're not even on the same night. They wasn't even like the same night. So I went to them. I did an interview, and they treated me well. They asked me to like be a guest host from time to time, and that's what I did. And I was very well respected, and I loved it. But then it was time for me to like start training, and now I am where I am.
So
but I was doing that. I was interviewing people.
I did not know that.
I got to interview the Godfather,
nice.
Tony Atlas, Nyla Rose. I got to interview a lot of people, and it was pretty good.
Wow.
But
that's pretty cool.
But I wanted more, and in this business, I want to do a little bit of everything, because I want longevity in this business, and I want to be able to have longevity. You have to know everything around, like, even if you're not a referee, you need to know like stuff about referees and like ring announcing and stuff like that. So this is it was a very, very long road for me to have my first debut match. I mean, because I remember my first show ever was in on Saturday, May 2nd, 2008. and I was in Virginia, and I got to manage then TNA champ Samoa Joe. So that was pretty cool, and that was and I heard about that show. That was UWF. They're no longer, but I heard about that show, and it was supposed to be like, you know, they were like raising money for like charity and stuff. And I said to myself, I'm gonna do this show, and this is gonna be my first and last show. And then I can like, cause I've always wanted to be in wrestling since I was a little kid, but I didn't think that because of who I am, I didn't think I was gonna be able to like have a chance. So I said, let me just get it off, you know, like let me get this tick off me, you know, like let me just
see how it goes.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to do that one show, and that's that. I wanted to like say, okay, I did it. I did one show, and I'm done. You know, I got the ish out of me. Now I can move on with my life. But it's something that wrestling's always something that I've always loved, and I was watched growing up. So for me, it was just like, instead of being that one and done, that kind of like made me want to do it even more.
Really?
Yeah.
So it got that, instead of the itch, you scratched it, threw it away, it lit a fire.
It lit a fire in me, but see, when I did that show, I didn't know any transgender people. And being anybody from the LGBT community, whether you were a gay male or a transgender woman, like that was not allowed in wrestling. So back then I was like, that was before I transitioned. And I took time off, and after I took time off, I came back, and I still had the ish. And then I found out about Mariah Moreno in California, who's a transgender wrestler, openly transgender. And I was like, wow, she's doing it. And she was a manager and turned wrestler. And I was like, wait, maybe I can do this.
Inspiration?
Yeah, and then I heard about this one and that one, and then I heard about another one that wasn't out yet, but she was wrestling, but she wasn't out yet. And that, hi mama.
Could you introduce us to?
This is Pebbles.
Look at Pebbles. Holy cow, she's so little bitty.
Yeah, she's a miniature chihuahua.
So I see, she hangs out in the pocketbook.
And she loves. She gets herself in the pocketbook. Yeah. So I found out about Mariah. I reached out to her, and then I found out about the boy diva Rick Cataldo. And he's an openly gay wrestler who does drag. You know, he's a drag queen, and I thought, wow, this is pretty awesome. Like. And I took it as a sign, like, maybe I still have a chance at achieving my dreams and pursuing my dreams. My English is not very good looking.
That's okay. I totally understand you. You're good.
But yeah, and then years later, here I am.
So, back then, we'll say back then, like, what brought Aubrey into wrestling per se? Like, just was it TV? Was it a parent? Was it a friend?
It was when I was little. My mom and I used to watch wrestling, so they would just have it on the TV. So it was something that the family, no matter how things were going at home, that was one thing that kept us together. And because my father was very abusive to me, like from when I was a toddler, he used to like beat me up to crazy. So, but like that was the one time, like when wrestling was on, he didn't hit me. He didn't. He wasn't abusive to my mom. He was. It was wrestling was on, so that's where all of his attention went, our attention, and that's how I got hooked to Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man.
It's all of them larger than life
Ricky
characters.
the Dragon Steamboat,
right?
yeah, and it's like, wow, like what are these people doing? And Sherry, Luna, and it's like, that's where my love from wrestling began. As a kid, seeing these larger than life characters in my television, and not knowing exactly what it was, but it was cool. And then, I would stay over my grandma's house with my cousin, and we would pretend to go to sleep, and then we would turn on ECW
at 1 o'clock in the morning
Grandma,
on MSG, right?
Yeah.
I remember them days.
Yeah, so we were supposed to be sleeping, but we were watching ECW, and we would watch Monday nights. We would watch Raw and WCW. So
when ECW came out, I think everybody was freaking the F out. Like, what is this? It was like an animal for wrestling. It was like the animal of
and
wrestling.
The thing with my family is like my father, my uncles, my cousins, we all like wrestled each other like as kids, like, and my uncle's beating me and my cousin up, like not really beating us, but like wrestling with us, and that was something that all of us did, and we did as a family. No matter what, we all did that as a family, and it was pretty cool. And that's why I think wrestling is in my blood, and that's why no matter how bad wrestling has been to me from time to time, I still kind of can't let go of it, because it's in my blood. That's what I know. I don't know what life is without wrestling.
So, being a transgender, the barriers, the closed doors, the no's, the you can'ts, like all of these questions and all of this, the negative side of what comes with that, really pushes people away to not pursue such a dream.
Oh yeah, I was told to give up. I was told to quit. I was told by people who I thought were my friends in the industry, this isn't for you. They're not gonna ever accept you. You might as well just quit.
How many times did you just? I'm done.
And there were so many times where I was like, you know what? Screw wrestling. I'm done. This is too much, because I would get so much, like, I would go to shake somebody's hand, and they would just not, they would just look at me and just walk away. The first person that did that to me was Sam Shaw. He's now in WWE. But I went to check out the Dudley School.
Okay.
In Kissimmee, Florida. And I went, I went in there to check it out because I was living in Florida at that time. And I shook everyone's hand, and I went to shake his, and he just looked at me and he walked away. And I was like, that was the first bad interaction that I've gotten in wrestling. And I still, to this day, I still get workers. I get workers that will eat my food and just not even shake my hand.
Really? They'll eat your food and not shake your hand?
It's all right. They can just enjoy it.
I would not expect that. Well, 2000s and plus have been some wacky years.
Yeah, totally.
But there's been so much more acceptance, but there's still so much non-acceptance.
See, the thing about this is, in wrestling, there's a lot of people that feel like this is a man's sport and this is, macho sport, whatever. But at the same time, like, there's been females workers since Mae Young and Moolah. So it's not really, it's a male driven sport, but it's not male dominated. No, especially not in 2019.
No, not
but
at all.
I had workers and promoters tell me, don't dress a certain way, don't dress like this, you're provoking people, you should never provoke anyone. And I'm just like, from the way I'm dressed, like, I had a promoter made me change my clothes, like, I think I changed like 8 or 9 times.
No way.
Yeah, I was running up. My friend was running late. My friend Dana. Hey girl. She was running late. And
is Pebbles okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just checking on Pebbles. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
She wants me to hold her. She's spoiled. She was running late, so I grabbed like several black dresses, just black dresses, and I put them all in my bag, and I was like, I'll finish getting dressed there. So when I got there, every outfit, the promoter and his wife were like, no. Wow. And I was like, and it was not even like, this is before I was even like slightly confident. This is when I was like still not secure in my body, even though, because I had this like, I was a lot skinnier, and I had a little more curves than most girls.
Okay. And
the promoter's wife thought that I was too sexy, and I needed to not provoke men So
Wait,
even though there was a lot more girls in the back with black dresses, because they had hired a lot of girls, like ring girls,
Right.
and we all have black dresses, and most of these girls are like showing legs, showing cleavage, showing back, and I was like, my dresses were tight.
You were conservative compared?
Yeah, I have fishnet stockings. Like I was a lot more conservative, but because of my figure was like like that, that was when I was, a lot skinnier and more curvy. They said I was provoking. I was super provocative, and I was provoking men. So they made me change like 8 or 9 times, and I was like, listen, this is the last dress I'm putting on. I could go out there or I could stay at home. Like, it don't matter. But, that's the kind of stuff that you deal with in wrestling. I was supposed to walk with the Godfather, because I did a couple of events with him. Me and my friends, we were like the Godfather's hoes, like Victoria and these other females. But I went to the event, the venue in New York, and we got escorted out of the building. Come on, man. Come on. You wanna go here?
Pebbles is finicky. She's like, I want my pocketbook. That's the cutest little miniature dog I've ever seen.
So the event was NEW. Hi, NEW. So NEW, and the promoter had me and my friend escorted out the building. And we were like, what's going on? Like, and I didn't know why. We wasn't told why. But like, here are some fellow workers being security, and they're escorting us out of the building. They're like, you guys got to go. And they're like, I don't understand. Me and the Godfather have spoken, and we've done a lot of shows where a lot of events where, and he had told me that when he went to this specific show, he wanted me and my friends to walk with him, escort him or whatever. And we just got escorted out the building.
Wow.
And my friend was like, we're gonna wait for him. So we ended up eventually waiting for him, and we talked to him. He was upset because he was like, I thought you did a no-call, no-show. And I'm like, I don't ever do no-call, no-shows. Yeah, I came home, and it was very humiliating because a lot of workers that I know and were friends of mine, they're just like walking me out of the building. So when I got home, I got a text message telling me that for my friend, she wanted to tell me what the male worker had told her, and to tell me. And I was like, okay, that's like, why not tell me, tell me directly. Right. And they told me that they don't want my kind at their shows. So I am therefore banned from any future NEW shows.
Really?
By NEW. So ever since that, I have not gone to an NEW show. I don't support them. I don't think anyone else should, especially if you're LGBT community. I've been to the shows before, and I've had bad times. Like, I remember going to, and that was the show in New York, but I remember like a couple years prior to that, I went to an NEW show in Waterbury, and there was a worker there, and he basically called me out in front of everyone. He started, humiliating me and stuff like that in front of the fans, and I was like, what's going on? I went as a fan because I wanted, to go meet Sonny and Mickey James, and it's like, I left there in tears.
Wow.
By the way, I'm still owed my money. Please, can you refund my ticket? But it's one of those things where, and I've spoken up about it, and I've had workers like inbox me, you need to shut up, you need not to tell your story, don't bring, what, it's at the end of the night, it was me who got escorted out. At the end of the night, it was me who left crying. It's my story. This is my story. This is not your story. This is my story. So that shit happens all the time, and you should expect it. You're trans. Like, you should expect something like that to happen. Wow. That's like, no. Like, I'm Puerto Rican. Before anything, I'm Puerto Rican. So like, yeah, we don't play that. But you know, it's stuff that has brought me down and has, you know, stressed me out, made me cry, made me want to quit wrestling. But at the end of the day, when I think about why am I in wrestling, why am I doing this, I'm not doing it for that promoter. I'm not doing it for those workers. I'm not doing it for those homophobes or transphobes. I'm doing it for me. Because 50 years from now, 80 years from now, I'm going to look back and say, I wanted to do that, and I did that.
That's right.
You know, and I've just never been one to let somebody tell me what to do. You know, I'm Puerto Rican. You can't really tell me what to do.
I'm gonna bring that right back to TOS with everything you've just said.
I'm sweating, not crying.
It is humid. I mean, I will say that. I'm gonna bring this back to full circle from that story to TOS, because TOS is that kind of family that is accepting of anyone.
They're very accepting, and like even now, I'm still like I'm still shy. I'm you know I'm always to myself, and you know, TOS is like very family. Everyone's a family. I'm just always the one, like the quiet one. Cause that's one thing. I always feel like in the back of my mind, like I don't fit in anywhere. Even though I know there's love for me there. Even though they tell me, you know,
you truly do know there is love there,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, but it's like because I've had so many haters and doubters. It's just I always like keep to myself.
Yeah. I could understand. You know, because you know it over time. I mean, it's gotta just become traumatizing, and the setbacks and setbacks.
You know, I have a lot of PTSD from you know, not only from my father beating me up from I was a toddler until I was 14 years old. I would get daily beatings, but like, excuse me, all the stuff that I've gone through in wrestling, from workers to promoters, and it's just like, and I get the most hate it's always from workers or promoters. It's rarely ever from a fans.
Really?
Really? Yeah.
I would think.
Which to me, no offense to anyone, but the fans are the ones that matter the most. Because if you have no fans, you got no show.
This is true. But that kind of really surprises me, because I think it would be more of the fans that would, you know, because I spoke to Mr. RJ Boom about this. Fans can really use their tongue, and when they do, it's quite sharp.
Yeah.
So that really surprises me that it's more of workers and promoters, you know, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's always them. I always get the most love from the fans, and I think, you know, because of the fans, because of that, they're the most important to me. She's crying. Because the fans are the most important to me. They're the ones who like keep me going. Because like I get messages from workers to this day, like, you shouldn't dress a certain way, you shouldn't speak up about this. If somebody's hating or discriminating on you, you should keep that to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you shouldn't be in wrestling. And it's just like, damn, like you would think, you know, you would think that this worker would be like, hey, I got your back. I mean, I'm not saying that every worker's like that, because I do have certain workers that are, you know, that do have my back and stuff like that. But there's still a lot of rotten apples, you know.
You think,
like I said, there's shows that I go to and people don't even like shake my hand. There will, if people are around me, they'll shake everyone's hand except for me, and it's like stuff like that. You gotta I gotta be the bigger person, not let it bother me.
It's gotta be tough. I mean, it's gotta be tough. But those, because you do kind of, you know, you suck it up, and you know you are becoming the bigger person in that situation. But those internal scars really gotta eat you up a bit. But again, it probably fuels you a little bit more. No,
it does. I mean, I mean, I'm so hormonal because, you know, like when you're transitioning, you are on HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy, So like I do get hormonal. Like sometimes I'm a lot more sensitive than others. You know, like
Okay.
like a typical any girl, basically. You know, especially like there's certain times in the month.
I didn't say it.
I said it. No, but there's certain times where like my friends are like, "You're on your period, huh?" Because I'm like so emotional. Like I just want like give me snacks and candy, and I normally don't eat none of that. But like I need like I'll be craving chocolate or something.
A Snickers makes it better.
Yeah, like Snickers, Twix.
That's funny.
Yeah, and I'll just be like, so sensitive. Like I watch like here. Can you take?
We have a Pebbles handler coming out to save Pebbles.
Yeah, that's what I do.
You know, and I'm like, you know, I watch sad movies, like romance movies or whatever, and I just start crying and bawling.
Yeah.
But you know, I can't just let that like ruin it for me. I can't just give up because one worker or two workers inbox me that certain day and tell me quit wrestling. You know.
Well, I'm glad you've pushed through the BS, if you will, because I would have never met Aubrey. I would have
not crying.
I would have never been tongue lashed by Aubrey. Training day after training day after training day after training day. Oh man, do I get? Let's talk about your first match. I mean, I could go back into the refereeing and progress into where you're at now. I've done that quite a bit in the evolution of said character. Yeah. I don't want to do that with Aubrey. I think I'm very interested in Aubrey becoming, and if I might say, the Baroness.
The Baroness.
Where, first off, did the Baroness come from? 2, villain. 3, these are questions. 3, Ref Bill, your handler. Please explain.
This is Stir in the Pot with